Hi. Welcome to the Unscrambled Manifesto of Africa. And today we are going to talk about elections. Well, we know that in Africa we are a voting nation. Indeed, many times people have called us a pragmatic voting nation, especially in Kenya. Due to the polar nature of elections in Africa, Kenyans have found themselves time and again in conflicts that have even neared to collapse into a civil war, and these have caused many, especially in the middle class, not to participate in the exercise. This manifesto proposes an introduction of an election license renewed every 10 years and which has no equal strength across the participants of the election license exams. Voting should be a privilege, like a driving license. We should only be handed to sober people of sound mind who understand the risks of voting carelessly and who have undertaken a civic duty course paid by their own money. The vote must not have equal strength. If a participant in the civic duty course has passed with distinction, his or her vote should have a strength of 500 normal votes, and the clarification should follow suit down the line of performance, whereby the participant who only manages to get a pass should have a voting strength of 50 normal votes. The other people who have failed or who do not wish to take part in the civic duty course should have a retained strength of 1 in order not to subvert their civic human rights in participating in elections. As to the details that entail the preservation of life for those that yield more normal votes, every performance returns should be made secret to the individual only, and the participant handed a digital and a physical seal of proof of his strength of vote, which shall be imprinted to his or her normal voting ballot during the voting exercise. This will prevent politicians narrowing down to the people who have more strength votes by virtue of their recognition, and therefore avoid the coercion that might result or elimination if such a holder has already shown anti-status against the said politician. And in order to prevent self-aggrandizing or self-advertisement of a person with 500 strength vote seeking favors from the participating politicians, the results of the civic duty test should only be conveyed with a digital imprint or physical seal that is only understood by the electioneering body. So, so that the 500 strength voter or the 50 strength voter should not at any time between the 10 years know the value of his or her vote. As to why this manifesto envisions a classified voting exercise is to cure the inherent or innate circumstance brought about by mass equal voting, for even some have said that the intelligence quotient IQ of any mass populace is equal to the least IQ of the beholder in the mass. This manifesto seeks to cure that by allowing those with higher IQ to have more say in decision-making process of who is to lead the country and the various constituencies, etc. We want to entice the best brains to feel comfortable during elections, for their vote can override 500 or so normal people who failed in their civic duty course exams. Many are at the times that the normal populace has led to a mismatch of leadership, and the best brains have suffered. Yet even if they try so much as to convince the population to vote in a certain way, their votes have been overridden by the populated ignoramuses. It has been argued that elections in Africa take exorbitant prices to hold and are full of dangerous dramas that can sink any civilized country into the abyss of anarchy. This has been forthrightly true. The cost of elections in Africa should be reduced and the financial muscles displayed during the campaign period tamed. Also, the elections have been marred with violence that discourage many voters from taking part, especially women and the youth and the elderly men. This incorporation of violence has denied women politicians a fair chance of taking part in the process. Therefore, the electioneering bodies still have a long way to go until they level the playing ground for everyone to feel comfortable in taking part in the election. As to whether term limits need to be adjusted, this manifesto holds that they need not, because the only adjustment needed is that involving civic education of the voters and also the behavioral change of the candidates from a cabal of trickery, thievery, coercion, blackmail, as well as bribery into the realm of delivering sober premises as to why he or she should be elected over their counterparts. The election system should be simple and clear for all to get involved in, even if some sophisticated mitigation may be adopted, like the unequal power of the vote classified along the population upon taking part in a voting license test. For that, we say and reiterate, let the voting strength be unequal. Thank you.